This time I try to translate my version of the tiny house design from this AI reference, which I modeled from the construction stage sim to the interior sim. In the early stage of development, we need to prepare the chassis of the tiny house on wheels with good quality. This can be custom made or bought in the marketplace of your choice. When you buy a tiny house chassis and still need to add length, then you can add it with similar iron. Next, you need to add wooden elements of good quality and weather resistance, especially on the base or floor frame of this tiny house on wheels with a grid system arrangement like this to provide strength to support. In this context, next we need to make the basic pattern of this tiny house oval cylinder based on the reference. We need to finalize the pattern until it resembles the existing reference. In reality, you can simulate this by using a temporary panel board to form a basic pattern which will later be used as a reference in making other frames. So this stage is quite important to do and requires precision. Next, we need to arrange these oval frames using a grid system, connect frames with connecting frames in a reasonable amount that is deemed sufficient for strength, and also need to pay attention to the placement of the main door and windows that will later be installed. At this stage, we need to simulate again in making the window and door frames according to the design we want. After finding the size of positioning of the window doors that match the design, then we need to make a supporting frame and locking the window door frame so that the position of the window door frame can be adjusted sturdy. We need to adjust the frame configuration of this tiny house when we start placing the doors and window. At this stage, there may be some parts of the frame that need to be cut and readjusted in position, but in this case, we also need to consider the strength of the main frame. This is the part where we need to add a frame for the skylight in the attic area. In this case, we need a few additional vertical and horizontal frames to place the skylight window in the attic area. Next, we need to pay attention and estimate quite accurately the position of the chimney, which will later become a channel for exhausting combustion smoke in the interior fireplace. At the position of the main door, we need to add an additional wall element as the main door handle, which also acts as a building accent, because if we just install the main door without any additional wall accent, it will not be in sync with the existing curved structure. So we need to adjust the main door accent to this curved frame. Next, after the main frame, windows, door, and chimney have been installed, we need to make the wall panels and building envelope. The building envelope consists of an interior envelope and an exterior envelope. The core envelope includes foam which function as insulation and keeps the building temperature stable and livable, followed by a layer of waterproof paper to protect the structure against water runoff. Then there is a layer of panel board. The outer layer is siding and roof. For the interior layers of a building, this is relative and depends on the occupant's taste. After the main part of the tiny house is finished, this is the interior design scheme that I made based on the shape of the existing tiny house envelope. The room on the far right has a fireplace, small dining table, cabinet shelf, and wardrobe for storing residence belongings and clothes. I still use the curved wall as a double-sided shelf to make the space more effective. In the middle is a transition space between in the entrance, access to the loft bed, and access to the kitchen and bathroom. Bathroom area with the concept of linear arrangement of fixture of flat walls to make plumbing easier, while curved wall may be used as shelves for equipments and toiletries. This tiny house space can be used for up to two attics with a large bed capacity up to a king size bed, and there is a void in the middle and optimal lighting from skylights. So, what do you think about this tiny house design? Let's discuss in the comments column below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and look forward to our video in the next content. Bye bye.